absolutely gorgeous night here in downtown St. Louis. We are at Busch Stadium, and the Diamondbacks come to town. The Diamondbacks have been one of the surprises so far in the National League and also in all of baseball. Arizona comes in with a record of 46-37, just a game and a half back of San Diego in the West. Los Angeles a game out, and the Diamondbacks 1.5 back in the West. With my partner Al Hrabosky, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch Stadium, and a good pitching matchup tonight. Braden Looper has been activated from the disabled list. Anthony Reyes has been sent down, and the reigning Cy Young Award winner is on the mound for Arizona, and that's Brandon Webb.
Brandon Webb has really been pitching extremely well on the road, where he's 5-2 and a 2.50 ERA. If he's on, they look for a lot of ground balls. One of the most dominant sinkers in all of baseball, and he's 8-5 on the year.
On the other side, you have Braden Looper. Last time we saw him was on the West Coast. He left that game against Oakland early, but he says he feels fine and he should be ready to go tonight.
He had lost 3 straight games, kind of hit a dead arm stage, but hopefully he can get back in the win column. You see the 2 starters today and what they've done in their careers.
And that's a look at our 4 key matchup, Brandon Webb and Braden Looper. Meanwhile, offensively for the Cardinals, So Taguchi's at the top of the lineup once again. David Eckstein still not activated, and So has been producing in that top spot.
He really has. You know, I mean, most of the time he had that 18-game hitting streak out of the leadoff spot. And of late, he just keeps on going out there, does a job. He's getting much better jumps on the ball as a defender, but it's really his offense that's keeping him in the lineup.
All right, this is a 4-game series here at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis. All 4 games on FSN Midwest. Diamondbacks are here. Ludwig was in Cincinnati yesterday and delivered a couple of long home runs. He's in the lineup tonight. Baseball around the corner. Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Auto Tire, the tire pros. For the lowest bottom line price, you ought to go to Auto Tire. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. Umpires meeting with both managers. Tony La Russa there for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals took 2 of 3 over the weekend against Cincinnati. There's Bob Melvin, the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the first of 4 starts tonight here in high definition on FSN Midwest. Diamondbacks lineup has been struggling as of late. Leading off for Arizona, Eric Burns, a left fielder. Chris Young, center fielder, batting second. The second baseman, Orlando Hudson. Chad Tracy, the third baseman, will bat cleanup. Connor Jackson is the first baseman. Stephen Drew, JD's brother, at short. Carlos Quentin, the right fielder. Then Chris Snyder behind the plate. And Brandon Webb, the pitcher, in batting ninth. The pitcher for St. Louis off the DL. Our Rico starter is Braden Looper. His record stands at 500.
All right, came off the DL. He hasn't pitched for a couple weeks. He had a little shoulder strain. He's lost 3 consecutive games and trying to get back to the winning ways. His last win was May 24th.
The defense behind Braden Looper, presented by Auto Tire. Duncan in left, So Taguchi in center. And Ryan Ludwig is in right after a pair of home runs in the game yesterday against Cincinnati. Roland at third, Miles at short, Kennedy at second, Pujols over at first, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. The 8th start of the season for Ludwig, and tonight it is in right field. Eric Burns very well could have been an all-star selection. First pitch is popped up. He plays with a lot of flair, a lot of energy, high energy guy at the top of this lineup. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, sitting .315 with 13 home runs and 46 driven in.
And he will be at the All-Star game. He'll be helping out Fox, participating in some of the pre- and post-game shows.
The Diamondbacks are just a .500 team since the start of June, and that is fouled back. Their offense has been punchless over the last 31 days.
You got 2 guys that have been pretty consistent. You got Burns and you got Orlando Hudson. Bob Melvin has worked wonders. They're 9 games over 500 with a lot of young, talented athletes, professional hitters, as Tony La Russa called them.
And getting good pitching.
Now, they say they don't hit a lot of home runs, yet they've hit more home runs than the Cardinals. They don't score a lot of runs. They've scored more than the Cardinals. But they are an opportunistic bunch that goes out there and has been winning with good pitching.
Since the start of June, this lineup hitting just .234, and with runners in scoring position, 173. Good to see Braden Looper back on the mound for St. Louis. The Cardinals optioned Reyes back to AAA, and Burns hits his one out to left center. So Taguchi over along with Chris Duncan, and Duncan puts it away for the first out.
Time you come off that disabled list, you always have a little butterflies until you get that first out, and then you settle in. And Braden leads the team in quality starts with 9, and his tops was his 6 wins. So Dave Duncan very pleased about that. And in 6 starts here at Busch, he's got a 3.41 ERA and a 3.2 record.
Center fielder Chris Young hitting .242, 11 home runs, 29 RBIs. First pitch at the knees and a strike. You know, Looper was winless in June, and his ERA was close to 9. That pitch just missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Opponents hit close to 400 against him in the month of June. And that's down the middle for strike 2.
Singing cowboy Joe West, crew chief, leading this umpiring corps. Been recognized as one of the better umpires now in the league.
Been around a long time. The 1-2 pitch.
I think you, like a lot of umpires, when they came in the the early 80s, they kind of were confrontational, and it didn't take much to get under his skin. But I think now he's settled in and a much better umpire.
On the infield, who wants it? Scott Rowland makes the catch. A basket catch by Scott Rowland. You could see Looper directing traffic, and Pujols was a little bit hesitant coming over from first, and Rowland, the Gold Glover, puts it away.
Kennedy, Pujols, and Rowland checks the mound, checks to make sure everybody. Little basket catch, little bobble, but 7-time Gold Glover holds on.
Here's Orlando Hudson, second baseman, hitting .302.
Switch hitter, hitting .300 from both sides of the plate.
Good player.
Well, he is. He's an outstanding fielder and Gold Glove winner. He's won the last 2 in the National League at second base.
Hudson lifts it out to left, backing up. Duncan, and puts it away. A 1-2-3 inning for Looper and his return to the rotation. Cardinals coming up in their half of the first. Tonight's telecast from FSN Midwest is available in high definition. Contact your cable or satellite provider for more info. If you're a Charter HD TV customer, you can tune into channel 792 to catch 6 consecutive nights of the Cardinals in high definition. Cardinals with a record of 36-42. We take a look at the lineup. So Taguchi, the center fielder, will lead it off, followed by the shortstop, switch hitter Aaron Miles. Albert Pujols over at first and batting third. Cleanup man is Chris Duncan, followed by Rowland, Ludwig, Kennedy, Molina, and the pitcher Braden Looper. Considered one of the best sinker ballers in the game, Brandon Webb gets the start for Arizona. And the first pitch is taken low. Advanced Auto Parts starter Brandon Webb, a record of 8-5.
Last year's Cy Young Award winner. He's 5-2, good ERA at .250 on the road this year. 9 road starts, 8-5 overall. Only 1-3 with an ERA of a little bit over 4 in 5 starts against the Cardinals.
His last start, though, against St. Louis was dominating. Might have sealed the Cy Young Award for him a season ago. A one-hitter against St. Louis.
Well, the one thing the Cardinal hitters are going to try and do is elevate the ball, get the ball up. He'll throw about 85% of the sinking fastballs. Terrific movement on them. And he'll mix in a curveball and a changeup for the other 15.
So just got a piece. So Webb won it in 2006. Trevor Hoffman finished second, and the Cardinals' Chris Carpenter was third in voting.
Carp, who's making his first rehab start down at West Palm. So that's a good sign for Carpenter pitching tonight. But towards the end of the season, as you said, Webb pitched great against the Cardinals, and Carpenter might have lost it with a couple of his late starts.
It's the 5th time in the Diamondbacks' brief history that they've had a Cy Young Award winner.
Well, look, 4 straight by Randy Johnson.
That helps.
And Randy is the scheduled starter for tomorrow night and the Diamondbacks, but he was telling me that, that surgically repaired back is acting up. He herniated the same disc again.
A swing and a miss by So Taguchi to start for Brandon Webb. Burns is in left as we go around the horn, brought to you by Auto Tire. Young in center, Carlos Quentin in right, Tracy, Drew, Hudson, and Jackson along the infield. Snyder is behind the plate, and Mr. High Energy, Eric Burns, in left. And Miles looks at a strike. David Eckstein still on the disabled list. A little bit surprising. We thought by this time he would be off the DL and ready to go.
I think they just want to make sure when he comes off, he stays off.
Miles out to right field. Carlos Quentin there for out number 2.
Talking with Jim Edmonds, who did some fielding, hitting, and other practice today, but it's the same thing. It kind of feels like he's okay now, but if he pushed it, he'd break down.
The Cardinals aren't so much concerned about Eckstein's back anymore. It's his legs.
Right. But it's sometimes those back injuries are a result of, you don't, it's like in Jim's case, he has like a pinched nerve, and he has absolutely no back pain. It's all leg pain.
0-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. That's strike 2. Pujols is the lone player representative of the Cardinals headed to the All-Star game. The 0-2 pitch. But the Cardinals will be well represented by Tony La Russa and his coaching staff. Out in San Francisco is Barry Bonds. Tony didn't have to make that decision, was voted in by the fans as a starter. Chopper hit to third, a fair ball. Throwing on the run, Chad Tracy, and the Cardinals are done in their half of the first. Coming up, the aforementioned Chad Tracy, the third baseman, the cleanup man, leads it off when we come back. No score as we move to the top of the second. Coming up later tonight following the postgame show, it's the FSN final score. All the highlights from around the world of sports tonight following the postgame show here on FSN Midwest. Chad Tracy, Connor Jackson, and Stephen Drew for the Diamondbacks. Chad is hitting .273 with 5 homers, 24 RBIs. Because he needed the bonus to be paid out, Alex Rodriguez is getting $200,000 for making the All-Star team.
Wow.
20+ million wasn't quite enough.
Know, yeah, he's not going to starve now. Was with our buddy Vince Coleman when he went to New York, said something about, well, I got to clothe and feed my kids.
Latrell Sprewell in the NBA was offered a multi-million-dollar deal, and he said, well, I'm just concerned about my family. $30 million wasn't enough.
Sure.
A-Rod is making $27 million this year.
Well, how about when they offered him $250 million and he said, no, I want 252.
41 of the 62 players picked have provisions in their contracts that allow them a little bonus for the All-Star game.
Ball clubs are more than happy to throw that in most cases because they know most of the time they aren't going to achieve that status, and if they do, they're happy to pay it.
Grounder hit to the second baseman, Adam Kennedy. National League All-Star starters. Bonds in left, Beltran in center, and King Griffey Jr. in right. David Wright over at third, along with his teammate Jose Reyes at short. Utley at second. Prince Fielder, who had an outstanding first half, is over at first, and Russell Martin is behind the plate, and Albert Pujols will be a reserve for the National League team.
Right, the fans did a very good job. Maybe Beltran, the only one that isn't quite up to those standards.
I guess the biggest omissions you can look at for the All-Star game in the National League, and then there's one glaring one over in the American League, is at shortstop. I mean, you had Jimmy Rollins, Edgar Renteria having a great year, Hanley Ramirez of Florida. Any one of those guys could have been picked. Out to shallow left center, and so Taguchi is there for out number 2. Now over in the American League, let's take a look at their starters for the All-Star game. Guerrero, Ordonez, and Ichiro in the outfield. A-Rod and Jeter on the left side of the infield. Polanco and David Ortiz on the right side. And Pudge Rodriguez is behind the plate. And again, the All-Star game July 10th on Fox. Orlando Cabrera, glaring omission at shortstop, hitting .337 with close to 50 RBIs, and yet he wasn't selected. Up the middle and a base hit. First hit in this game.
Stephen Drew, JD's younger brother.
Remember when Steven used to come out to the ballpark at the Old Busch Stadium and work with Jose Oquendo?
Yep, always liked his nickname. It was Dirt. It's a good nickname for a ball player. He had a terrific career at Florida State University, same that JD went to, and his 2 older brothers, Tim and JD, were drafted first round. So was Steven, but Tim and JD were the only brothers to be drafted in the first round of the same draft.
And Tim made it up with the Cleveland Indians as a pitcher. Of course, JD here in St. Louis, and now Stephen Drew. I'm not sure if Stephen, and that's a talent right there. I'm not sure if Stephen is represented by Scott Boras. JD opted out of his contract in Los Angeles and picked up $70 million from Boston. He and Julio Lugo were 2 of the big free agent signings by the Red Sox, and Julio is hitting around 200. Just finished up an 0 for 31 string.
And JD has had his problems at times.
He sure has. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carlos Quentin. Runner at first, Stephen Drew, just underway here in the 2nd inning. Busch Stadium here in St. Louis, 80 degrees our game time temperature. It is beautiful. Beginning of July, partner, in St. Louis in the Midwest, it's supposed to be around 95, 100 degrees, humidity. And that's not the case. It feels like the West Coast tonight.
I'm sure all the Diamondback players probably putting jackets on, extra sleeves, as it is very pleasant. It'll get a little warmer as the week goes on, but still not bad.
1-1 is lifted out to shallow left, backing up the shortstop Miles, and he'll put it away for out number 3. So a good start for Braden Looper coming up for the Cardinals. Duncan, then Scott Rowland, and Ryan Ludwig got a pair of home runs yesterday. No score. This state in baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. A combined total of 62 home runs are hit. 9 players record multi-homer games back in 2002. Pitch that's inside to Chris Duncan. Worked an awful lot with Dave McKay during spring training. His outfield work, the Cardinals' first base coach, that tails in there for a strike. Got him 1 ball, 1 strike.
What is it? Defensive play has improved dramatically. That's good to know on our Schnucks this date in history. Could have put up there that Randy Weedle, our good friend from Schnucks, their marketing director. It's his birthday today.
2-2. Late arrivals here at the ballpark. Sold out crowd tonight. The 2-2 pitch, tails in there for a strike. Duncan knew it. 2 strikeouts for Webb to start his night.
Just terrific movement on his sinker. Almost like he's See it right there. It just totally fools him. Leaning back, and the ball will dip and dive. Tony even said at times it has so much movement you even think it's almost like it's got a foreign substance or a spitter, but they all know it's not. And Brandon Webb still has a chance to be an all-star.
One of 5 players that can be voted in by the fans online.
Threw a curveball to start out Scott Rowland.
If he wanted to, Al, he could exclusively throw that sinker and still get away with it and be fine.
Sure. You know, I mean, there are times when, we always talked about Jason Marquis' sinker and said, but you don't see the movement on that, or you don't see Brad Thompson's movement like he does, but it's probably the most dominant pitch. As Tony alluded to in the part of the pregame show, if you have really good velocity, you can get by throwing the ball up in the zone, but for the most part, keeping it down is a real issue. Have better success when keep it down and have them hit it on the ground.
For fans and maybe young pitchers out there, how do you throw a sinker?
How you hold the ball, and you hold it.
Rolling a base hit to left.
Instead of across the seams, you throw it with the seams, and you just kind of your thumb can kind of twist around and everything. That I hope deviates movement. But it is a pitch designed to stay on top of it, and you get this 2-seam rotation instead of the 4-seam, which is more of a riding fastball.
Feast or famine for Ryan Ludwig. Seen a bunch of strikeouts, but we've also seen some good power. A couple of home runs yesterday, including one of the longest home runs of the season to center field. Top of the boat deck in Cincinnati.
It's the kind of player that really teases you. He for a couple games he can really give you a lift, and then he'll get into some bad habits, and you got to kind of know those tendencies and get him out of there when you see that. Right before he had his big day yesterday, he was like 0 for 12. Had quite a few strikeouts, but when he connects, it goes a long way.
Now with 6 home runs, 18 RBIs in limited time up here in the big leagues. Runner goes, and the pitch is hit to short. Only play for Drew across the diamond. So by starting the runner, Cardinals avoid the double play.
See, it starts with the circle changeup grip. You always start with the most extreme of your grips, and then as you come set, get your signal, you can always adjust. So he went to the sinker. You see a lot of the infielders for the Diamondbacks have made quite a few errors. Even the Gold Glover, Orlando Hudson. And I said, are they just making errors? And really what they're saying is Connor Jackson, their first baseman, is still really learning that position. So any bad throw, it almost always becomes a throwing error. Just doesn't have those soft hands where he can pick it out of the dirt.
1-0 pitch to Adam Kennedy. Adam hitting .209, no homers and 12 RBIs. See a third baseman off the line, even with the bag. Shortstop Stephen Drew trying to keep rolling tight at second. Outfield, though, shades Kennedy to the opposite field.
They'll play their left fielder, kind of straight away. Kennedy kind of hit that looping swing, a lot of fly balls, but not, the kind of fly balls that are hit with authority or hit for power. Still looking for his first home run.
On deck, Yadier Molina. Count of 3 balls, no strikes. And that's ball 4. Make sure your 4th of July week plans include Cardinal baseball, matchups here with the Diamondbacks, and then over the weekend Barry Bonds and the Giants will highlight this current homestand. Best way to find out about seat availability and to buy your seats, the Prime Seat Club at STLCardinals.com for the best seats available for the Diamondbacks and the Giants series.
And the one thing we want to stress is Wednesday and Thursday's game are 6:15. Even Thursday's game is 6:15 on July the 5th.
2 outs, 2 on, and Molina, broken bat out to shallow center. Young coming on, drops in for a hit. And Rolen will score, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Hesitation by Chris Young, and that cost him. And the Cardinals get the first run of the game. A 2-out RBI base hit by Molina, his 15th driven in this season.
One of those situations where it really helped out the fact that there were 2 outs for Scott Rolen. So contact is made. And when you see the bat chatter like that, Young should have known that it wasn't going to carry as far as he first or initially thought. And Scott Rolen with 2 outs, he just turns around, starts running. Then he looked to see where the ball was, to see if it'd be a play. And how about Yadier? Couple hits.
Broken bat, backhanded by Brandon Webb. Fires over to Connor Jackson. Looked like in frustration. Cardinals leave 2 on. Molina drives in the first run. It's 1-0. Cardinal baseball on FSM Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. By Rico, move your ideas with Rico dependability. And by the new chicken grilled taquitos from Taco Bell. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. So Barry Bonds and the Giants in town this weekend as we move to the top of the 3rd. Game 1 between the Cardinals and Diamondbacks. And what will that home run total be?
750 right now. And I guess at the pace he's been going, they're saying it's going to be about August 6th. But heck, when you're within 5 of tying, 6 of setting the new record, you could get hot. You never know.
And the first pitch to start the 3rd is a strike from Looper. Looks sharp early on.
Yeah, good start for Looper. He's not only got a 1-run lead, but he's only allowed an infield single.
Well, the Sisters of Mercy are celebrating their 150th year of service for the St. Louis area's poor, and they are huge Cardinal fans. And watching the ball game tonight, we thank them for what they do.
Still pouring in here. I was down the ticket office today and they said, I hope you're not looking for tickets tonight. And I said, nope. And they said, good. But Prime Seat Club is going to be the only place to really go get your seats for this homestand. And another reminder, Wednesday and Thursday, 6:15 starts.
2-1, a couple of hops to Scott Rolen. Good play.
We're going to have some fun on Wednesday, aren't we?
We are. That is going to be a lot of fun, as we will be broadcasting to the troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. It is our This One's For You telecast, and that will be on the 4th of July.
Come on at 5:30 with the pregame show, and a couple, Missouri National Guards troops in Afghanistan, and also a medical unit at Camp Anaconda forward base. We'll be talking with those troops. We'll have some of their family members around.
Webb not much of a hitter, just hitting .061. And that's high, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch right down central. See if Webb is going to take another.
He's 2 for 33 this season. He looks good taken.
Scott Rolen will charge and make the play easily. Webb retired. Not much hustle from Brandon Webb down the line. And that is 2 outs. Back in the rotation for Braden Looper. You see what he's trying to reverse. What happened in June, a record of 0-2, an ERA that was close to 9 after a terrific April, 3-1, and a 1.91 ERA.
He got into that, mid part of June, and he had already set a career total in innings pitched for a year. The career reliever until this season.
2 outs, and the first pitch is popped back foul. Our sonic pitch count, first time through for Braden Looper, 32 pitches, 33 on the night. Cardinals with the lead of 1-0 here in the third. 2 outs, nobody on for Eric Burns, who flied to left to start the game. And he is, for a leadoff guy, a free swinger. He's up there hacking.
He has 6 career leadoff home runs. He's tied for second in the National League with his 105 hits. He's hit in 18 of his last 20 at a .337 average.
1-1 pitch. Grounder again to Scott Rowland. Rowland ties a record here in the top of the third. 3 ground ball outs to Scotty coming up. Pujols. Cardinals lead it by the score of 1-0 to start this homestand in St. Louis. Top of the lineup for St. Louis. We remind you that the Best Damn Sports Show period is coming up later tonight. Dodgers ace Brad Penny, part of the program, and also Diamondback star Eric Burns will be on the show. He's become a regular on that show. Line drive caught by Chad Tracy to start the bottom of the third. Burns has got his own reality TV show in Arizona, works nationally on the Best Damn Sports Show period, and he'll be part of Fox's coverage of postseason play and the All-Star game.
There was a line drive that Tracy wasn't going to let fall out of his glove.
And the pitch to Miles is taken low. Aaron fly to right, first time up. Brandon Webb was drafted by the Diamondbacks, number 8 pick in 2000. That's a base hit. Chad Tracy was playing in, so it went right past him, and Aaron Miles reaches with a 1-out base hit.
Talking about that all the time. You play an infielder in that opens up the hitting lanes.
Look at that. Highest average in the National League since June 8th, and Aaron Miles at 387, just ahead of Bonds and Chase Utley.
You know what Miles' average is in the past 3 homestands? 511. 23 for 45, so you added 24 for 47. He's hit .310 as a starter. Where would we be without Aaron Miles?
And where is Larry Bigby now?
Elsewhere.
And he was in the Dodgers system to start this season. I believe he's at AAA with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Miles was kind of a throw into that deal.
First time I saw Bigby swing, I didn't understand where all the what all the fanfare was all about. And then when you learned a little bit more about his history of, a great kid, but just can't stay healthy.
And that was the case last year too.
And a real long swing.
Pujols grounded out to third his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aaron Miles, a runner at first base. Outfield is deep for Albert. Pujols is just 3 for 16 against Brandon Webb. No home runs.
That tells you how good Brandon Webb is.
They are very, very deep for Pujols. Check on Miles. Wish a happy birthday to Devin Tammons from his grandma Loretta. Loretta's watching the game tonight. Happy birthday to Devin Tammons. The 2-1 pitch. Shallow left field. Burns coming on. He'll dive for it. Can't come up with it. Miles on his way to third. He's in safely. Pujols on his way to second. One thing you know about Eric Burns, he will go for everything, and he'll go for everything all out. He will dive, he will slide, it doesn't matter. He is that kind of player, but that time it cost him.
Well, it cost him because of what you said earlier. He was way too deep. And Albert, fooled by the pitch, hits it off the end of the bat. There's a dive. He got close enough to it and actually went off his glove. But see, he kind of actually, I think he slowed it down as he hit it after it bounced. But the swing there, Albert is fooled. Miles makes sure it gets down, and then risky. He goes to third base, gets there underneath the tag, and Albert follows him into second.
And this is Duncan, struck out looking. Brandon Webb with a pair of strikeouts tonight.
That's the 4th consecutive strike he's taken. Just absolutely fooled by the movement. As he's backing away from the pitch, it's in the strike zone.
Right. The left-handed batters, this pitch will come right at him and then tail in. Well, Carpenter has that same type of movement.
So you got to just trust yourself that it's not going to hit you.
Duncan with his 15th home run yesterday in the win over Cincinnati. Runners had second and third. Cardinals lead it 1-0. And there it is again.
Yeah, just flinching, and Webb didn't get the call. He's fallen behind 2-1. A lot of ways that you can score that runner. Doesn't always have to be via the base hit, and you got to bring him in somehow, some way.
This is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, and a pitch that you would figure Duncan would get to hit coming up.
He threw a curveball there, but you got to think he's going to throw the sinker. Make sure you make contact and pull it to the right side.
Runners scored 3 out of 8 times in this spot for Duncan. And that's ball 4. So the base is loaded for Scott Rowland. 2 walks issued by Webb. So the bases are loaded for Scott Rowland in this spot. 4 grand slams. He's 4 for 9 this season with 10 RBIs with the bases loaded. Miles reached on the single, and then a double by Pujols allowed him to advance to third. A walk to Chris Duncan. And Scott Rowland, who has singled and scored, is the hitter.
3 for 9 in his career against Webb after the single.
A pitch in the dirt. A couple of years ago, prior to the Cy Young Award season for Brandon Webb, walks were a problem.
It's because it's so much movement, right? And the Cardinals' approach not to be too aggressive, try and get him to elevate the pitch.
And Rowland hits it to the second baseman. That's Hudson on to second for 1. First, not in time, and a run will score. 2-0 Cardinals as Miles scores.
It's a very nice play by Orlando Hudson, the 2-time Gold Glove winner.
I told you he's got great range.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the range. And then Stephen Drew got rid of that ball. It was offline a little bit. Connor Jackson does hold on to this one, but Scott Rowland pushes the run across.
Fielder's choice for 6. Rowland, the runner at first base. Pujols over to third. And Ryan Ludwig grounded out to short. Steps in. He's 0 for 1. 2-0 Cardinals. That's a pitch that was elevated that time.
Elevated, but a lot of times that's the pitch running in on you, you know, that you just foul off your foot. Guy that has a movement like Brandon Webb, a lot of hitters just know that somebody's going to have to pay the price for a foul ball.
Curveball and a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 home runs, measuring over 800 feet for Ludwig. The ball game yesterday. This is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sonic pitch count for Brandon Webb at an even 50.
Strong, tough guy. Where, I mean, 120 pitch range is not uncommon.
And a swing and a miss. Ludwig strikes out. They'll throw down to first. And 3 strikeouts tonight for Brandon Webb, but the Cardinals add to their lead as Miles scored the run. It's 2-0. Scott Rowland with the bases loaded, 10 ABs this year, 11 RBIs. And he was up with the bases loaded and delivered for the Cardinals. All other at bats. It's interesting. 222 and 22 RBIs.
Yeah. I think we need to get him up there with the bases loaded a little more often.
Here's Chris Young. Cardinals lead it by the score of 2-0 here in the 4th. Rowland has been busy tonight. 3 ground ball outs last inning. He's also caught a pop-up off the bat of Young back in the 1st inning. 2-1. On a hop to Aaron Miles. And it brings in Orlando Hudson. The camera that's isolated here on Mr. Miles. Walks into the pitch on 1 hop.
I got the Sunday hop and guns it on over there. Low crow hop to get his feet in a line. Got underneath the throw a little bit, but knew he had to get rid of it quick with Young running.
And his throwing hand on top there, kind of the alligator's what they'll call it, because it closes down like an alligator's mouth when you receive the baseball on a ground ball. Hudson hits it out to left center. Duncan is back and makes the catch. Twice he has flied out, and both times to Duncan. I want to remind you, this is the first of our telecasts this week, all week long, in high definition on FSN Midwest. 6 nights and all in HD on FSN Midwest. 2 outs, and it brings in Chad Tracy. Looper is allowed 1 base hit. That was Stephen Drew back in the 2nd. It's not struck out a man and no walks.
But throwing strikes and efficient.
Another ground ball. This is Adam Kennedy. And another 1-2-3 inning. Coming up for the Cardinals, 7, 8, and 9 in their lineup as Duncan put away out number 2. Two to nothing St. Louis as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Adam Kennedy, 7th man in this lineup for Tony La Russa, will lead it off. And Kennedy hits it out to deep center field. Going back is Chris Young, and somehow comes up with it. Good play out there by Young.
Twisting, and just over the shoulder. Played pretty deep. You saw him run to the spot where he thought it would come down, then it kind of curled around on him a little bit. So he arches his back and makes the catch. Traps it a little bit with his body.
There's Yadier Molina.
I say Yadi played the first 2 games of the Cincinnati series, had 2 hits and an RBI in each of them.
Molina out to left center field. Burns is over to make the catch. Cardinal fans on Wednesday, July 4th. 25,000 fans receive a Cardinals cooler back courtesy of the Shane Company. The 4th of July. For tickets, go to stlcardinals.com. The number to call here at the ballpark is 345-9500.
Not a typical Brandon Webb game. He's got 4 ground ball outs, 4 fly ball outs. One was a line drive to third, and 3 strikeouts. normally is a 4-to-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio pitcher.
Brandon Webb with 11 quality starts this season. Diamondbacks are 12-5 in his 17 starts. So even if the individual isn't winning, but the team is, that shows you just how good he can be.
Yeah, and they have a very good bullpen. Closer Valverde is only failed in 3 save attempts, but he has 26 on the year.
And an all-star this year.
They've got 2 all-stars and potential Webb being a 3rd.
4th strikeout for Brandon Webb. We move to the 5th. Cardinals on top. That's Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. 5th inning has rolled in here at Busch Stadium, and thus far Braden Looper looks terrific. Just 1 hit allowed, no strikeouts, no walks, and he's looked good.
Well, Dan, he was really struggling before his shoulder forced him on the disabled list, and you could tell that was the right decision to put him on the disabled list and give him that little time off, because he's pitched very effectively. And look at all the ground balls he has gotten tonight.
And Sunday, August 12th, the Redbirds will play the Dodgers, and the first 10,000 kids ages 12 and under will receive a Cardinals World Series bear, courtesy of the Build-A-Bear Workshop. For tickets or more information, go to stlcardinals.com or call 345-9000, 345-9000, or stlcardinals.com. Beautiful Busch Stadium here in downtown St. Louis, and an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball.
Well, it looks great with the sellout crowd. So many of them packed in their Cardinal red.
Connor Jackson leads it off. He is fly to center. First pitch by Looper is taken high. Six ground ball outs for Looper tonight. 2 balls and no strikes. To make room for Braden on the roster, the Cardinals optioned Anthony Reyes back to AAA in what has been a very frustrating year for Anthony. Cardinals did not make an announcement as to whether or not they were going to keep him to make a start in this series of this week. It's not listed in the game notes over the weekend, and Anthony is back down to the minor leagues, and Tony had indicated, you know, barring injury, he's going to stay there until possibly seeing September call-ups. So he's going to be down there for a while trying to get the ship righted.
Well, barring the injury to Looper, he would have stayed down there where he had put things back together. He had 3 very good starts down there, and Tony making the point that he is a very young pitcher and just needs to gain more experience. So when he comes back up here, he can fulfill the promise that everyone thinks he has.
Stephen Drew, the only base hit in this lineup tonight for the Diamondbacks. A 1-1 pitch. And Drew grounds it foul.
One of the differences that you see between now and when he was struggling in June was he couldn't get the ball in, particularly to left-handed batters. Earlier in the season, we were remarking about how he really developed that cutter and just had a good quick pace to his game.
2-2 out to right center. Ludwig on the move, dives and makes the play.
And you could see how he and why he was a center fielder earlier in his career and has played a little center for the Cardinals, but he gets very good jumps. Talking about Ludwig. And now, you know, he could go out there and play all 3 outfield positions. And he's gotten a good jump there to his right. In Cincinnati, he was playing center field, had a good jump to his left, and come up with some of those plays that maybe earlier in the season were gappers to the wall.
It's Carlos Quinn. So Looper gets a little help from Ryan Ludwig in right field. Heck of a play. Well, prior to this season, Looper was a pitcher who, since his freshman year at Wichita State, had made 713 appearances, and only 17 of those were starts. Former closer in college, high draft choice for the Cardinals, their 3rd pick in 1996. closer with Florida and the Mets. Signed as a backup to Isringhausen a year ago and as a setup man, and here he is starting again now in the major leagues.
And 572 major league relief outings before his first start this year. And truly in April and early May, he was by far the best Cardinal starter.
The 1-1 pitch popped up. Molina will give it a look, and it's in the seats, out of play. Seen Looper pitching inside a lot more tonight too.
I think it's the ability to get inside just because his arm feels better. I mean, your mechanics stay with you. Remember, he had that little shoulder cleanup.
By the end of last season, he was throwing better, though.
Yeah, you know, he had it between his season with the Mets and his first season with the Cardinals last year, and his velocity was pretty good, but his slider and his split finger fastball came together in the second half.
2-2 foul back.
But you saw the ability for him to get in on lefties and get them out. That was what was killing him in New York, is he couldn't get left-handers out. And this year he's actually retired left-handers to more efficiently than right-handed batters.
Sonic pitch count at 56 for Looper. Another ground ball. Miles will charge, throws on the run. Picked by Albert Pujols. Boy, the defense has been good tonight. We'll talk about that and show you that when we come back on a beautiful night from Busch. Defense tonight has stood out on both sides. Some routine and some not so routine. But bottom line, both these guys have put the ball in play. And the defense, for the most part, has been outstanding on both sides. The highlight of the night, that catch by Ludwig.
Nice plays right there by Miles, and a nice pickup at the other end by Pujols.
Show Taguchi against Brandon Webb as we move to the bottom of the fifth. Cardinals with a lead of 2-0. So rips one foul. Taguchi has lined out and struck out. Top of the lineup now for the third time here for the Cardinals. Cardinals took 2 of 3 over the weekend against Cincinnati, and then after the game yesterday, Jerry Narron is fired.
Yeah, the Cardinals have been playing better baseball.
High fly ball out to center field. And that's the first out here in the bottom half of the fifth. The win one for the Kids Charity Fund, brought to you by SunTrip. Cardinal wins 36 this year, and SunTrip donates $100 for each Cardinals victory.
One thing the Cardinals have to change is, of those 36 wins, 21 of them have been in the Central Division. They have to start beating other teams. They've won 5 of their last 8 home series, and they're 1 game over 500 in their last 19 road games.
Had a cup of coffee this morning with Butch and Craig Suntrip. I want to thank them again for their participation with the Win One for the Kids Charity Fund. They do a great job with that, and the folks over at Suntrip.
So where were the boys going to go play golf today?
Oh, no.
Oh, they were working?
They were working today. And high praise for you, Al.
So they told their father.
And a slow ground ball hit to the third baseman, and out is Miles over at first.
Slow ball. Could have been called a foul ball. And bang play at first base. But Tracy did the right thing. You don't wait for an umpire to tell you or call that. You just go ahead and execute the play and then turn around and find out what he calls.
And here is Albert Pujols with 2 outs and nobody on. And Pujols hits a grounder and a couple of hots to Orlando Hudson, and the Cardinals go 1-2-3. 2-0 St. Louis. South St. Louis moms and dads, the Cardinals alumni kids clinics are coming to Afton Athletic Association on July 10th and the 12th. And boys and girls ages 7 to 13 can learn baseball fundamentals from former Cardinal greats like Kenny Daly, Scott Terry, and others. Number to call is 345-9891, 345-9891, or visit stlcardinals.com. First pitch is driven out to deep left field. Duncan is back, hits the wall, and it's over the wall. Chris Snyder cuts a lead in half, and it's 2-1, his 7th of the year. So the first pitch to start this 6th inning, a home run.
Didn't take long right there. Is, you know, going out there, trying to get ahead. Molina set up away, and the ball just wasn't that bad a pitch. Trying to get out there, but he was ready for it. As he'd been throwing strikes. Got the arms extended, and Duncan 380 in the distance of that home run. This is about 370 at that point.
Pitch count very efficient tonight for Looper, only 60. A night that you really wouldn't anticipate him being able to go real deep into a game. Coming off the DL. Underhands to Pujols for the first out. We are awfully proud about the upcoming telecast on the 4th of July. FSN Midwest will partner with the Missouri National Guard and the American Forces Network to bring you a special telecast dedicated to our troops overseas. And join us as we bring you live coverage of the Cardinals game to soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's This One's for You. July 4th, we'll begin our broadcast at 5:30 here on FSN Midwest. David Picorni and Jeff Goldman have helped out with that. And that is over. Scott Rolen over to get it. Chris Duncan. And it's a double for the leadoff man, Eric Burns.
He's a burner, isn't he? Just like the way he plays. I remember the first time we saw him come through as a member of the Oakland A's. He just kind of gets your attention the way he hustles. Everything flat out. Hair's not as flamboyant as it once was, but he's a real hustler, and you kind of enjoy watching him play. It's his 106th hit of the season. Came in tied for second in the National League with that hit total.
One out runner at second, the tying run at second base, and this is Chris Young, who was popped out to third and grounded out to short. 2-1 St. Louis. Good pitch. Jerry Naron was not a surprise to be fired over the weekend, but what was a surprise, Mike Hargrove. Backhanded play by Miles, picked by Albert. Good play by Pujols once again.
Albert has had some fielding problems of late, but not tonight, as another sinker, almost like a breaking ball, thrown over there by Miles, and with the soft hands, Albert did a nice job to scoop it up. That's what we're talking about with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their first baseman not quite as accomplished, Connor Jackson, and so a lot of infielders have been given a high error total, but it's their fault. They're making the poor throws that don't have the benefit of a Gold Glover like Albert to scoop them up.
2 outs. Burns a runner at second base. And the first pitch to Orlando Hudson taken inside. But that Mike Hargrove, after his team starts to win games, leaves.
But he lost the passion, and you have to, at least he did it during the winning streak.
Two balls and no strikes. Hudson, a Gold Glover a year ago, now won a Gold Glove in both leagues. Just the 6th infielder in Major League history to win a Gold Glove in each league. Brett Boone has done it. J.T. Snow, Robin Ventura, Omar Vizquel, and Matt Williams. Don't see those guys leaving teams very often.
No, but he's won the last 2 years, one in each league.
And he was sent to the Diamondbacks as a key part of the Troy Gloss deal, as Troy would wind up with the Blue Jays.
Jim Cott is a perennial Gold Glove winner in the American League, the left-handed pitcher. And then when Bob Gibson retired and Cott came to the National League, you just started picking up that hardware in the senior circuit.
That is the first walk issued by Looper tonight. Runners at first and second. And 2 outs for the cleanup man, Chad Tracy, who twice is grounded out to second. Tuesday, July 10th, baseball's greatest players gather in the city by the bay. One spectacular night. Don't miss the biggest names as they battle for home field advantage in the World Series. The 78th Major League Baseball All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 10th. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver on Fox. It'll be at 7 o'clock here locally.
Cooper's only thrown 68 pitches, but a leadoff home run here in the 6th inning, a base hit, and his first walk. Got to keep a little close eye, and they've got Randy Flores thrown in the Cardinal bullpen. First start after being activated from the disabled list. So keep a close eye on him.
Pitch at 79 miles an hour, 2 outs, 2 on. Inning started with a home run by Chris Snyder. Webb would ground back to Looper for the first out, then a double by Burns, ground out by Young to short, and Hudson the walk, first and second with 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's see, in Looper as aggressive here in this 6th inning.
Well, it just maybe an indication that even though the pitch count is not that high, he just doesn't have the endurance after taking a couple weeks off. And remember, he is at he called a balk. And he started his motion, so things are starting to unravel here. I think Braden's going to ask for an explanation.
And so is Tony La Russa. He pops out of the dugout.
Said like he started to come up, you know, he's kind of bending over. I think Braden looked over at Tony and said, yeah, they'll take a look at it. Started to bend over, and they said was constitute the start of his motion. See there, right there, just that little flinch. Started to come to set position. It was slight.
Well, that's pretty picky.
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, Bach and Bob didn't make that call. It was the singing cowboy.
Yeah. And the 2-0 is hit out to center field. 1 run is in, and here comes another, and the Diamondbacks have their first lead of the night, and it's 3-2. Tracy delivers a single that scores 2.
The Bach comes back to get him. Tony had Flores, and I saw that he signaled that he was ready, but he did not elect to go to him right now. Look at right off the end of the bat. But because of the balk, it easily scores both runners.
Chad Tracy with RBIs 25 and 26.
I'm going through the game notes. You kind of look at this Arizona team. It looks like they've scored a lot late in games, and you know, I just think they'd have somewhat decent of a win total and come from behind games. And a few walk-off home runs.
You also see what they've been doing offensively and realize that for Bob Melvin, it's been his pitching that's carried the load, especially last month or so.
Yeah, they're only hitting .249 on the season.
1 ball, 1 strike as the Cardinals trying to get Looper through 6.
They have scored 350 runs. The Cardinals have scored 334.
Connor Jackson 0 for 2. He is ground, or rather flied out to center and flied to right. Pitch misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. At the knees for strike 2. Diamondbacks coming off their most lopsided defeat on Sunday, 13-0 to San Francisco. And prior to tonight, their last 2 games, they've only scored 1 run. 2-2 pitch. Hard hit to Kennedy. He'll flip to Miles. Steps on the bag at second. It started with Chris Snyder. A solo home run on the first pitch in the top of the 6th. Then Chad Tracy with an RBI to play 2, and it's 3-2 Diamondbacks. Chris Duncan has struck out and walked. And it's the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-2 Arizona.
Oh, he swung the bat yet, has he?
No. Now he has. Slowly hit to first and a foul ball. Duncan here, then Scott Rowland and Ryan Ludwig.
First time up, Chris was pounded with that inside sinker that he kind of leaned back, and then it would cut back to the middle of the plate. And the second time, it kind of worked that, and then a few breaking balls, and he walked. And that's part of trying to get him to elevate his pitches.
3-1. Brandon Webb, drafted out of the University of Kentucky back in 2004. In the midst of a 4-year deal with the Diamondbacks. 3-1 is slowly hit foul.
That's probably it for Braden Looper. So he goes 6 innings, allows 3 runs on 4 hits. All 3 of them came in the 6th inning. And it looks like Russ Springer will take over in the 7th.
And it's ball 4 to Duncan to start the bottom of the 6th. This portion of Cardinal baseball on FSM Midwest is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new sirloin burger, 100% sirloin, your choice of cheese and onions, only at Jack in the Box. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers. And by U.S. Cellular, we connect with you. Along with Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. 3-2 Arizona here in the bottom of the 6th. Scott Rowland with an RBI, a base hit, and a run scored. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch count for Brandon Webb tonight at 74. Gotten better as this game has gone along.
4th and 5th inning, you know, when you keep it down in single digits, pushes you to that another inning later on in the game. Times a pitcher will throw over because he agreed to throw. Saw a signal from the catcher, kind of agreed with it, and then all of a sudden thinks about it and said, "No, I really don't want to do that, so I'll throw over to first base and change the count." And remember, because he's a sinker ball pitcher, and Scott's hit a couple balls on the ground that you want to avoid the double play.
And Rowland lifts it out to right. Backing up to make the catch, Carlos Quentin. Let's go pitch by pitch, and this is brought to you by Chevrolet.
A little breaking ball right there for the first one. Looks like it comes back with a little bit same breaking ball. And all of a sudden, this time around, instead of all those sinkers, he finally throws a sinker there, but didn't get the ground ball, fly ball out. To see how in the 3rd time he's mixing and incorporating some of his other pitches other than just that dominant sinker.
And Scott Rowland now with just 4 home runs this season. His lowest home run total before the All-Star break is 5 back in 2005, but that was just in 50 games. Ludwig pulls it foul. He struck out last time up and also has grounded out to short. Arizona on top by a run, 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Cardinals going to have to win this game, it looks like, to keep pace with Milwaukee as they have a 10-3 lead over Pittsburgh.
Ryan Ludwig, an interesting story, drafted by the A's, their number 2 pick in '99. Played at UNLV collegiately. He's been with the Rangers, the Indians, and now the Cardinals. Of course, his older brother Eric, a major league pitcher for the Marlins, once pitched in the A's organization after they got him in the Mark McGwire trade
from St. Louis.
That's right. See, they play him very deep. No balls and 2 strikes.
Particularly out in left field and center.
Of his 24 hits, 11 have been for extra bases, so he's had good power. Getting the ball into the gaps or over the fence. The 0-2 pitch, and he strikes out. Already just got a piece. Just a piece. Let's take you back to yesterday. Game 3 of this series, and that was the monster home run that he hit on top of that black building, and then he would do it again.
This one out to right center. First one measured at 473 feet. 9th longest ever at the Great American Ballpark, and the first one to ever reach their very new, they got kind of like a riverboat, steamboat up there on top of their batter's eye. Got a little club up there, and he hit it up on the balcony.
He was 0 for 9 prior to that home run. A little bit of a skid. 1 ball, then 2 strikes. And Ludwig pulls it foul. He's got some pop. You can see it.
Yeah, he just, you know, he's kind of, as you alluded to, kind of that all or nothing type swing, and very difficult for him to kind of maintain it. You know, at the AAA level, lesser pitchers, you know, he can be an unbelievable force, but here, you know, he'll go in and out of his good swing.
2-2 on a pitch that just missed outside. Inning started with a walk to Duncan. Fly out off the bat of Scott Rowland, 1 out. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ryan Ludwig. Another check on Duncan over at first. Two pitch. Slowly hit left side and foul. Come celebrate with music, fun, and ice cream with your family every Sunday. The North Star Magic House Ice Cream Sundays here at the ballpark, located in the Ford Plaza. Gates open 2 hours before game time. That will be this Sunday with San Francisco in town. Two pitch. Good at bat here by Ludwig. The Diamondbacks are tied with Atlanta for the 3rd best road record in the National League at 21-18. They lead this game 3-2. Runner goes and pulled foul. Diamondbacks lost 2 of 3 at Busch Stadium last year, and they haven't won a series here since 2003.
Cardinals have won 6 of the last 9 games played between the teams in St. Louis.
Here comes another 3-2 pitch to Ludwig. Duncan goes, and a ground ball, base hit. Duncan on his way to third.
Good base running by Duncan after the base hit by Ludwig. Kept on fouling off pitches. Battled there. Webb got the ground ball he was looking for, but his infielders were playing up the middle, and it finds the hole and goes into left field. Duncan running on the pitch. You see him looking in to make sure he knows where it is, so you don't get doubled up on a line drive or fly ball the outfield. And for a big man, he can scoot around and go from first to third as well as most.
Adam Kennedy hit one to the track in center field.
Wouldn't this be a good time to see Adam? Just anything that he can pull out of his hat that's positive.
First pitch, a strike to Kennedy. With a guy that is going like Adam is, possibility of a squeeze is there.
Well, the one thing with a left-handed batter, it's real easy to pitch out. And that runner coming down the line, you know, the only thing the batter can do is just basically throw his bat at the ball. As a balk was called on Looper, now everybody wants a balk called on Webb when they faked to third and looked to first.
Runners at first and third, one out in the Cardinals half of the sixth. The 0-1 pitch, and Kennedy grounds it to the right side, off the glove of Hudson, and this game is tied. Ludwig arrives at third base, and Adam Kennedy gets an RBI base hit.
His 13th RBI, and Orlando Hudson, if anything, complicated it by at least getting part of it. He got that uppercut swing, gets ground ball, he pulls it to right side. That was going to get the run in anyway, but there when he dives and just slows it down, that made sure that Ludwig goes from first to third, and Kennedy has his 13th RBI.
The batter will be Yadier Molina. Then you've got Looper on deck, and you'd figure if Looper comes up in a spot to do some damage, the way that last inning went, that they pinch hit for him in that spot.
Yeah, Brian Price, the pitching coach for Bob Melvin, out to talk.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The content and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Pena is warming up. Tony Pena, a right-hander, warming up in the pin after Kennedy's hit. And Springer is, they were gonna lift Looper no matter what in this ball game. He'll probably stand there if the spot comes up. Saw Kennedy was going, but when he faked to third, it allowed Kennedy to get back to the first base bag. Maybe just a secondary lead.
And that is pulled foul past Jose Oquendo. Possibility of a squeeze here. Molina 1 for 2 with an RBI single back in the second.
Always a possibility. But the way Molina's swinging the bat, I think they'll let him swing.
The outside corner, that's strike two. The runners in scoring position. Yadier's hitting .290.
In his career, he's been .300.
3-3 ball game here in the sixth.
He's got 3 RBIs in the 3 games that he's played since coming off the DL himself.
Thing you always worry about with Molina as he visits with Joe West about the possibility of a block, but I was going to say you worry about the double play. Molina pointed it out right away.
Well, it was almost like instead of fake to third, he looked like he kind of
went to the plate,
did a little bit different, and threw just to first.
The 0-2 pitch, and Yadier hits it to the shortstop Drew. That's one. Double play. Hard slide out there by Kennedy. Clean baseball, 6-4-3, and this game is tied up 3-3. What's on tap is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, always worth it. Todd Wellemeyer will make his 7th start for the Cardinals and 11th outing overall against Randy Johnson. He is scheduled to be the starter. He was roughed up in his last start for the Diamondbacks and dealing with that sore back that he had surgery on. And Russ Springer is into the ball game for St. Louis, his 40th appearance. He's been used a lot, and our call to the bullpen is brought to you by Chevrolet.
He's done a fine job for the Cardinals this season in all kinds of different capacities, whether it's the 7th or 8th inning. And just the influence he's had on some of the younger pitchers down the bullpen is very positive.
Russ has played with the Yankees, the Angels, the Phillies, Astros, Braves, Cardinals a couple of times, and he was with the Diamondbacks in 1998 and again in 2001. Last season, he had a career-high 72 appearances and did not allow a run in 58 of the 72 games that he pitched in. Decided to come back to St. Louis. Has a son that has some special needs, and doctors here in town were able to help him out. His son responded very favorably to that, so why not come back and pitch for the Cardinals? 1 ball, 1 strike on Stephen Drew to start the 7th.
Been surprising the way he's fanned at least 1 batter in 16 of his last 17 games. And on the season, almost a strikeout per appearance.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Drew, and that's pulled foul. Cotton candy. Get the blue tongue or the purple tongue, and up for at least 2 more hours.
Has Luke been introduced to cotton candy?
No. M&M's. That will keep him up for at least another hour and a half, 2 hours. Drew slowly hits it to second. That's Kennedy. And that's out number 1.
We got an M&M container
at your house.
Yeah, so
we're not coming.
Yes, he is. No top on it. He can just reach in and grab all he wants.
We're working on his birthday cake, which includes M&Ms.
Get him a date.
Luke is almost 2.
That's what I mean. That's the 219 months, right?
Yep.
Nice going.
Oh yeah. The rest and relaxation now that you can get over at my house is just amazing. Road trips never seem so nice. Carlos Quentin has popped out to short and grounded out to short. Russ Springer also pitched in college at LSU. Went to the College World Series a couple of times in Omaha. Hit out a play and foul. We're going to have a quote for you, Al, from the great Dizzy Dean coming up. Two and two.
Quentin is former #1 draft pick out of Stanford. Went to high school in San Diego. One of the Golden Spikes finalists.
And a high fly ball hit out to left center. And the catch is made by Sotoguchi. And Quentin retired for out number 2. It ain't bragging if you can back it up. Great Dizzy Dean in our Geico quote.
Pretty simple, and to the point.
There's Chris Snyder, who homered last inning. Got the Diamondbacks on the board.
Arizona's got a couple kids that are from the Houston area, including Snyder.
He attended the University of Houston.
Yeah, see where he was a
All-American there.
Johnny Bench, say candidate. He was one of 3 finalists for the 2002 Johnny Bench Award bestowed upon the nation's top collegiate backstop. And was a starting catcher for Team USA during 2001. You had a chance to meet Johnny Bench the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, that was fun. A chance to meet him in Cincinnati. Don't see him around at the ballpark all that much.
Yeah, he was playing behind us on the golf course, and said he's on their board of directors for their very fine Hall of Fame there, but new regime and kind of distancing himself, the Hall of Famer, from makes his home there in Cincinnati.
And that's a called third strike as Snyder strikes out, and it's time to stretch in a 3-3 game.
Let's go back to our Hardy's hot pitch, the last pitch thrown by Russ Springer. You see where Molina wants this breaking ball. 2 strikes, he wants it down, even bounces breaking ball. But sometimes a hot pitch can be a hanger that backs up. So even the hitter is expecting that to be something down and away out of the strike zone, and it backed up, stays in strike zone, and Springer got his strikeout. Cardinals have tied it up against Brandon Webb, and it's our Hyundai long drive inning, and Bob Long is today's merchandise winner in the Hyundai long drive inning sweepstakes. The Cardinal hits a home run in the 7th. Bob Long qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Schumacher pinch hitting, Dan.
And a grounder that's hit to the right side. Race to the bag, and Schumacher is safe.
Well, you see Orlando Hudson almost thought about doing it as his pitcher failed to cover. Hudson just helpless out there after Connor Jackson, the first baseman, deflected it. And it's a foot race between Webb, and he had to take his eye, looking for the bag, takes his eye off the glove. He steps his foot down, but he can't hold on to the ball. Webb late in covering, and it cost him. And very generously, they score that a hit. Okay.
Right-hander getting loose in the pen. It had been Pena for Arizona. Let's see if Taguchi will sacrifice here. The Cardinals now with 7 hits. Arizona with 4 in a 3-3 game. Top of this lineup, So Taguchi. He is struck out, lined out to third, and flied out to center. Very well could be the final inning of work for Webb. His pitch count at 94, and he's due up first for the Diamondbacks in the 8th.
He's used to going well over that 100-pitch barrier.
Ryan Franklin getting loose in the bullpen for St. Louis.
Well, this would be a big win. You beat the reigning Cy Young Award winner and a team that's 9 games over 500. Get a good start on the road trip. So often this Cardinal team loses the first game of a series and then has to win games 2 and 3 to take the series. This is a 4-game set, and they need to do some damage. They need to win, get in a little long winning streak.
Be interesting to see what the Cardinals may do at the trade deadline too.
Well, get on the winning streak, and you know they're going to be buyers.
Right.
I just don't see this team's mentality of selling off.
Go. Runner goes, and the pitch is foul.
Jam shot. I
agree with you. I mean, when you look at Tony La Russa and the success that they have had here in St. Louis, and even a couple of times while in town, Tony, with teams late in the season have gotten into the playoffs. It's just too early at this point.
Sure, and you know, you look on the plus side, you got guys.
Oh, Taguchi's hit by the pitch, and the first two have reached.
The guys are starting to get healthy. You just don't want some guys to end up on the disabled list. You could hear that all the way up here. It's Taguchi hit right. Hitting the back or the buttocks? Oh, the backside.
It's always a dilemma with Pujols on deck. You could bunt in this spot, but then you leave first base open. And the other thing you might want to think about too is that, and Bob Melvin's going to make a move, Aaron Miles has been terrific with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .421.
Scott Hairston is going out to, looks like, the outfield. We'll have to play. He's going to play left field, and Burns will go over to right field. And this looks like Payne.
We step aside. That's it for their starter, Brandon Webb. It's 3-3. New left fielder is Scott Hairston. He'll take over for Burns, who moves from left to right. And Carlos Quentin lifted from this game, so Burns moves to right. And a new pitcher in, part of the double switch. Our call to the bullpen brought to you by Chevrolet. It's Tony Pena. This will be his 38th appearance. A record of 3-1, good ERA, and this is a very good bullpen out.
Yeah, particularly when you get late in the ball game, you bring in Pena, you bring in Brandon Lyon, and then Valverde.
Well, as we mentioned, it's a situation where you could bunt with Miles, very good bunter, but you could have first base open and run the risk of them intentionally walking Pujols and taking the bat out of his hands.
You could do that, and they're playing for the bunt, but it's
might be doing Miles a favor just to slap it to left.
Well, especially with shortstop out of position, as Stephen Drew was standing at second base when Pena delivered that ball. You've got the third baseman and first baseman playing in, and when your second baseman gets out of position, you don't throw, you step off when you see that guy break. And that a pitch outside is real easy for Miles to kind of shoot it to the vacated shortstop spot.
Runners at first and second, nobody out. 3-3 game here in the seventh. Ball 2 to Miles.
Base on ball will work too.
Runners in scoring position for Miles this year, 421, 14 driven in, and a double. He has been very good in this spot.
And he's been in a little bit of a funk as he's 0 for his last 4, but even with that, he's 7 for his last 14 with runners in scoring position.
Inning started with a single by Schumacher on the infield. So Taguchi hit by the pitch. 2 balls, no strikes with 2 runners on for Miles. And Miles hits a slow one to short, and he may beat it out. He does. Bases loaded now for Pujols.
Stephen Drew, it was not hit hard, almost a swinging bunt, but he was a little casual, especially as he looked at third base before he threw to first, and that's all Miles needed. See him with a big swing, and he kind of looked over there, took his time, a little extra hop in there, and Miles running hard, getting down the line. He looked at third, and then he took too much time, and Miles beats it out.
So the bases are loaded for Albert Pujols. His last home run was actually at Kansas City. It's been a while. Nobody out. First pitch to Albert. Base hit right side. 1 run is in. Here comes Taguchi. He will score. And Pujols advances to second. He's safe. And the Cardinals have regained the lead. 5-3.
It's a single RBI. He goes to second on the throw to third, or 2 RBIs, excuse me. and just swing, and it just shoots to right field. He looked like he was trying to drive it, but it went to right field. He's checking the surveying. He watched the high throw. It was offline to third base, so he goes to second.
Reaction of the crowd on the base hit. That closes the book on Webb. Those 2 runs charged to him. 5-3 St. Louis, and now it is Duncan, who has walked a couple of times and scored a run. Infield is drawn in. Pujols the runner at second base, and Aaron Miles is the runner over at third. First pitch to Duncan. Swing and a drive out to right center field, and is it a trap or a catch?
Trap.
He trapped it, and a run will score. It's a base hit for Duncan, and it's 6-3.
They may have an appeal on this, but the first base umpire is shaking his head. Bob Melvin. You know Burns is always going to dive. He's going to go for, he's going to go for the maximum effort. But the first base umpire, it happened so quickly, it was hard for Adam Dowdy to get out there and really see it. And it's his backhand here. Well, there you see he got the play right. Definitely is a trap. Burns didn't really try to sell it, but the second baseman, Orlando Hudson, really kind of started to argue, and now the umpires are going to get together. But clearly on the replay, he trapped the ball. I think what they're saying is the second baseman would have a better look at it. And now they allow the play to stand. You can see right here, he clearly hit the ground and into the glove. He doesn't try to sell it as a catch either. This angle here, you see it bounce and then into the glove.
Pena's come into the game and allowed 3 singles to Miles, Pujols, and Duncan. Here's Scott Rowland. Rowland tonight with a base hit, a run scored, and an RBI.
2 top teams in the Central Division in the National League have already won. Milwaukee 10-3 over Pittsburgh. Chicago 7-2 over Washington.
Runners at first and third. An 0-1 pitch to Scott Rowland on its way. Strike 2.
A base hit, run scored, RBI on a ground out on a force play, and a fly out to right. Still nobody out.
And Rowland strikes out. First out here in the bottom of the 7th. First strikeout for Pena. Ludwig tonight has grounded out to short. He has struck out and singled. Bob Melvin flashing signs to his catcher Chris Snyder, who then steps out in front of the plate and delivers them to his teammates. Four hits in the inning. Taguchi was hit by a pitch. And the strikeout. Fastball at 93 miles an hour and a strike. The guy that started all this, Skip Schumacher, hustling down the first base line. Miles as well on his ball. Up the middle, and Hudson steps on the bag. It's a double play. As the pitcher, Pena, lost his glove. Cardinals pick up 3 and lead it by 3. Tune into the All-Star Game on Fox, live from San Francisco, 8 Eastern Time, and this one counts. The All-Star Game. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver from San Francisco next Tuesday. High definition on Fox. Skip Schumacher stays in the game. He'll play right field. And the new pitcher is Ryan Franklin.
Quick work on yesterday's game in Cincinnati was he had 6 up, 6 down.
A talk in Cincinnati after seeing Franklin's numbers. Why isn't he wearing a Reds uniform, especially with the problems they have had in their bullpen? He was not offered a major league contract by Cincinnati, and he felt the Cardinals really wanted him. And sure enough, here he is with a chance to start or relieve, and he's been a reliever this year and been very good.
Been a very solid addition to the ball club, and this has been his territory, the 8th inning. Setting up Izzy. Scott Hairston went in part of the double switch.
Took over in left field as Burns moved to right. And a fastball.
Comes from a pretty good lineage of baseball players in the Harrison family.
Ground ball hit to second. Kennedy with time. And that's the first out to start the 8th. I mentioned the Cubs over the Nationals 7-2. Simon Tachi takes a loss for Washington. He's now 5-6. Lilly the win. And he is 8-4 on the year. Brewers over the Pirates 10-3. Suppan 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Took a no decision. The win went to Villanueva. He's now 6-0. Top of the 8th, and Houston is trailing, or rather on top of Philadelphia by the score of 4-3. That's in the top of the 8th as they work on the hand of Adam Kennedy.
Sometimes, you know, you're always talking about doing 2 hands or something like this. Sometimes you get that hand in there a little too quick and completes the play, but sometimes that ball get that nail, split it.
See, it took a little bit of a bad hop at the end.
Trying to do your alligator, trying to do your alligator, but alligator has teeth.
It's a sellout tonight, 42,312.
I always liked a description that the players had about Greg Jeffries. Called him Alligator Man when he was playing first base. Said his arms were so short, it's like couldn't grab or reach for anything.
He's bleeding from that finger.
Yeah, dripping.
Al, your description was not as good as having a chance to see it in person up here. You do that Greg Jeffries alligator. Burns pops it up. Aaron Miles is there for out number 2. In steps with 2 outs, Chris Young.
That's a ball player. Tommy sort of doesn't know what he's talking about. He says he bleeds Dodger blue. I'll guarantee you he's bleeding. Tommy Lasorda would bleed Cardinal red.
Kennedy is due up first for the Cardinals in the 8th. Bottom half of this inning. The 1-0 pitch by Ryan Franklin. 1 ball, 1 strike. What is it about Franklin, Al, that's, in your opinion, made him so successful this year?
Well, one, he has good stuff, but it's just his demeanor on the mound, his aggressiveness. He throws on both sides of the plate. He's got a very good slider. He's got a splitter. He's got this fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam. He's just aggressive. And he's really taken to this relief role. Sure, he wanted to be a 5th starter, but I think now he's finding out as long as he's being used consistently, it's great because you have a chance to compete every day rather than once every 5 days.
See how this bullpen is rounding into shape. The left-handers have done a nice job this year. You've got Franklin, Russ Springer having a solid year. You've added Troy Percival, who is now 2-0.
Well, what it is the fact that it bridges the gap one more inning if your starters aren't going that deep into games.
And a swing and a miss. A strikeout of Young. Effective 8th once again for Franklin. It's 6-3. Cardinals baseball on FSM Midwest is brought to you by Busch. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. By Chevrolet, meet the all-new Silverado 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. See for yourself. Shop and compare at stlchevy.com. And by Advance Auto Parts, providing car care. Know how to protect your investment. We're ready in advance. Between innings, Adam Kennedy dealing with that bloody hand and finger. And Adam will lead it off for the Cardinals to start this inning against former Cub Juan Cruz. Also pitched with Atlanta and now with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hard thrower. Opponents only hitting .237 against him. Good numbers and a record of 3-1. 6-3 St. Louis here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's got a very important message relayed to us that we were asked to repeat over there, but says Drew says hi Mama Schmidt.
You want to explain it?
Well, Drew Schmidt saying hi to his mother. So you watch, great Cardinal fan, watches the Cardinals all the time.
All right. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Kennedy. 2 balls and no strikes. Isringhausen getting loose in the Cardinal bullpen. 6-3 Cardinals. A 2-0 pitch. Outside 3-0. Adam tonight has walked. He's fly to center and picked up an RBI base hit in the 6th. The 3-0. And that's ball 4. On base for the 3rd time.
That's a start for Kennedy. Go out there and do something positive, a couple walks, then he gets the RBI single. That tied the score at 3-all.
Molina is grounded into a double play, 1 for 3. Skip Schumacher is on deck. He started the big rally in the 7th inning. Yadier with an RBI base hit back in the 2nd. He's also flied out to left. See if the Cardinals want to do some running here with Adam Kennedy. And it's slowly hit and foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Cubs had Juan Cruz. At one point they used him as a starter. That didn't work. Moved him to the bullpen. That didn't work. And they moved him out of town. He's got a live arm, throws in the mid-90s with some pretty good movement.
Just amazing how many of their kind of tall, lanky sling the ball up there, and really don't seem like that many of them break down. Because as kids, constantly throwing, playing catch.
Got a 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Yadier fouls it back in a good rip. Looking ahead to the 9th, Arizona will have 3, 4, and 5 coming up.
Well, one of the questions is, will it still be a save situation? Is he only had 3 save situations, I think, in June, converted 2 of them. Only blown 2 all season long.
1-2 pitch waved at by Molina, and he strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Schumacher, that first time up, dove into first base, and it was dropped by Brandon Webb in what should have been an out.
Brandon was late in covering. Ball went off the first baseman's glove, but Orlando Hudson, the second baseman, got to the ball and had to wait for the pitcher to cover, and he stepped on the bag with plenty of time to record the out if he held on to it.
Late swing on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just look at Cruz because of the style he throws and his size. You know, easy to kind of project him as more as a reliever than as a starter. And now he's got a little more experience, so he can handle the role.
Boy, look how shallow the outfield is for Schumacher. A lot of room in right center field.
Shade him towards left field and the outfield, and as you said, just even down the right field line, right in right center.
And that's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Up to 94-79. First pitch to that pitch for Skip Schumacher in this at bat.
Go up there looking for the fastball, but now with 2 strikes, you just got to protect the plate. Got that live arm, get it up there, and then, like you say, 94, and then because of all the arms and legs coming at you, kind of hides the slider pretty well. Worrying about Kennedy over at first base.
And worrying about him with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Cardinals lead it 6-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out, runner at first. And Cruz steps off.
Call the
and
walk. I said he was worried about him.
Second balk that has been called tonight. The other was against Looper.
See what he does. Oh, same thing. See him started to go into the motion, realize it, try to decoy it by stepping off, but you start to come up like that, that's starting your motion and you can't stop.
Kennedy, runner at second base. The 0-2 to Skip Schumacher. Hop foul and out of play. The Cubs had some young arms that were guys that could throw hard. Todd Wellemeyer being one, obviously Cruz.
Yeah, it just seemed like every one of them was coming 94 to 97, somewhere in that vicinity, and every one of them had that common denominator of hard throwers. Haven't all panned out for the Cubs.
Nope. The 0-2 pitch. Schumacher again fights it off and fouls it back. Folks enjoying this one from the green seats. One and two.
96 with that delivery. slowed down here, haven't they?
They sure have. Good pace with Looper and Webb. And Schumacher pulls it foul. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skip has fought off 3 2-strike pitches. The next to him, 2-2. Every at bat so critical for Skip Schumacher, and at this point he is listed on the roster, and we're talking about Scott Spezio, but at least we understand he's unavailable tonight.
Well, he's available in an emergency situation, but I think everyone would prefer him not to make an appearance, as he got out of the hospital on Saturday from that infection in his left index finger.
Schumacher up the middle. That's a base hit. Kennedy being waved in. The throw to the plate, not in time. Adams scores, and it's 7-3 after a very fine at bat from Skip Schumacher. And he's 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI.
Yeah, but you see the disappointment on Dave Duncan's face, as it's no longer a save situation now for Isringhausen. So good news for Skip Schumacher. He's 2 for 2. He drives in a run, but with the 4-run lead, no longer a save situation, and not sure Izzy's going to pitch this 9th inning. Probably will, but it'd be the 15th time he's had to pitch without a save situation.
So Taguchi with 1 out and a grounder, base hit, perfectly placed.
So his first hit of the night.
On base for the 2nd time, was hit by a pitch in the 7th.
Making contact and finds a hole.
And here is Miles with a couple of hits and 2 runs scored tonight.
Cruz getting a little frustrated. You know, usually when Aaron, particularly at home, when Aaron gets 1 hit, he's going to get 2. Or how many? This will be it's just 1 game of this 7-game homestand, but in his last 4 homestands, he's hit over 500.
First and second for Aaron Miles. 1-0 pitch, and Miles pulls it to the first baseman. That's Jackson, and he throws it away. Schumacher will score, and it's 8-3 Cardinals.
The 7th error by Connor Jackson. Fielder's choice. Miles just hits it out to first base, tries to get the force out, just throws it one right in the dirt. He short-armed it and kind of throws a sinker and never got on top of that ball. Just kind of slung it over there, short-arm effect. The ball has a tendency to sail when you do that.
Cruz has already thrown 20 pitches here in the 8th. Couple of hits, an error, a walk, and now it's Albert Pujols. Pujols tonight, 2 hits, single, a double, 2 RBIs, now with 51 on the season. Chance to do some more damage, and a fastball that's taken outside at 94 miles an hour.
And then you get upset with things that are going on in this inning. You try to overthrow, and The only thing that does is eliminates the free and easy release point. You choke down on the ball and all movement stops.
1-0 pitch.
And when you do that, you think you're throwing hard, but you're not throwing as hard, and movement stops, and it usually gets hit harder.
What's amazing is that guys at this level, Al, it doesn't matter if it's coming in triple digits. If it's straight, they'll hit it.
Sure. May not get you the first time, but if you're out there long enough or get enough swings at it, they'll get it.
Flash bulbs popping tonight with Pujols digging in.
I thought Isringhausen now sits down, and Randy Flores is warming up to pitch the 9th inning like he did yesterday's game. Close it out.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Right-hander getting loose in the pen for Arizona.
Brandon Lyon.
The 3-1.
A little off there, only 93 where the previous fastball was 96.
A 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Can understand your point that Dave Duncan would love to see Isringhausen get a save, but at the same time, he's awfully happy to see the Cardinals putting up some runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you're a closer and you feel like you're not doing your job until you get that total up there.
And Albert hits it high in the air out to right. Burns will back up and makes the catch. Runner from second will tag up to third. That's So Taguchi. And it'll be first and third for Chris Duncan and 2 outs. Duncan tonight has struck out looking back in the second, walked in the third, walked and scored the 6th, and picked up an RBI single in the 7th. His 41st RBI in the year.
27 pitches. There was an error in there, so he has to get 4 outs this inning. This could be a good matchup for Chris.
Guy that throws hard and a lot of fastballs.
Yep.
Off speed pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
Throw in the right spots, you can get anybody out, but still looks an awful lot like a thrower like he first came up to the big leagues.
On the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another breaking ball.
Arizona will have Orlando Hudson, Chad Tracy, and Connor Jackson due up in the top of the 9th. And what will the score be by then? It's 8-3 now. Two and 1. Just missed, and it's 3-1. See, Cruz is getting a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, he took a little off that pitch, and Bill West is not the guy to show your displeasure with the strike zone.
And it's It's up and in to Duncan, who stares back at Cruz. The bases are loaded now for Scott Rowland. That may be it for Cruz. And that will be it. Pitching change to face Scott Rowland. We'll tell you about it when we come back. This is Brandon Lyon, 2 saves and 4 opportunities for the Arizona Diamondbacks this year. Good ERA, just over 2, and a record of 5-2. 27-year-old right-hander that began his career with Toronto back in '01. Also been with Boston and now Arizona.
Came to Arizona part of the Schilling trade.
So 2 outs, bases loaded for Scott Rowland. Taguchi, Miles, and Duncan aboard. We showed you Rowland's numbers with the bases loaded this year. And what he's done in this spot, 11 RBIs of his 31 have come with the bases loaded. First pitch by Lyon is a breaking ball and in the dirt to Scott Rowland. Rowland has singled and scored back in the second. Picked up an RBI with the bases loaded and a ground out in the third. He's flied to right and struck out. Hovering around 270 this year is Scott Rowland at 268. One ball, one strike. Brandon Ryan has moved to the on-deck circle. The 1-1 pitch is a curveball and strike 2.
Turn 28 next year. Lyon, 6'4", 195, who Scott is facing.
Rowland thought the last pitch was a little high in the strike zone. Falls behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The next by Lyon is hit down the left field line, has a chance to go, and it is off the wall. 3 runs are going to score. Rowland on his way to third, and he busts this game wide open. It's 11-3. Clears them all. A bases loaded triple for Scott Rowland.
I got one solution. Only bring up Scott with the bases loaded. Hanging breaking ball, just not a real vicious swing, but just trying to make contact, and he hooked it enough into the right field corner. It goes off the wall. Heavy pursuit by Scott Harrison, and just doesn't get there. And then the carom, he was too close to the wall. The carom got away from him, allowing everyone to clear the bases, and Scott a stand-up triple.
11-3 St. Louis here in the 8th. And Brendan Ryan hits a fly ball to right near the line, and the catch is made. Scott Rowland, part of this big 5-run bottom of the 8th. And the Cardinals head to the 9th with an 11-3 lead. Scott Rowland, a bases clearing triple. And it's 11-3 St. Louis as we move to the 9th. We take a look at tonight's game reset. It's brought to you by Singular. Singular is now the new AT&T. Key plays in this game, in particular in the 3-run 7th for St. Louis. The Cardinals with a couple of runs in the 2nd and the 3rd. In the 6th, they picked up a run, but 3 in the 7th, and then added 5 more in the 8th, and they lead it behind a 13-hit attack. 11-3. 4 RBIs on the night for the Cardinal third baseman.
Second consecutive game that they have scored 11 runs, and the second consecutive game that Randy Flores called upon to try and finish it out.
And the first pitch to Orlando Hudson.
Switch hitter. They turn him around to the right side for the first time.
Isringhausen, by the way, last save opportunity at home was on June 6th. So nearly a month ago, that was against Cincinnati.
Cincinnati converted that one for his 14th save.
He is 15 for 17 in save opportunities.
Yeah, and then he went to Friday night, was when he got his 15th. So,
you know what a difference a year can make, because Isringhausen, suffering through that hip injury, wasn't himself. He was being booed at home. Remember that? It was pretty rough on him a year ago. Well, this season at home, he is 9 for 9 in save opportunities, and opponents are only hitting .093 against him. Three and two on Hudson.
Can't open the door at all. Got to hit their way on.
And Hudson, a swing and a miss. Swung at ball 4, but Randy will take it. That's the first out here in the ninth.
Part of that pitching is making guys think that the pitch is good enough to swing it. And you see the movement there. Just look at the way that it was caught by Molina. Make a pitch look like it's good enough, but most of the time you want it to be out of the strike zone.
And the first pitch to Chad Tracy is taken for a ball outside. Sweeping breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tracy with an RBI single back in the 6th. They scored their 3 runs, and he picked up 2 RBIs. He's also grounded out twice to second. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wynn would go to the bullpen, be their 17th win of the year.
And Hooper's start looked good early on. Kind of ran into a little bit of a wall in the 6th inning, but overall pretty solid.
Definitely. And all 3 runs were scored in the 6th inning. He only had 1 hit allowed before the 3 hits, including a leadoff home run.
It's going to be a situation where the Cardinals are able to get past Brandon Webb and win this game, and then maybe not face Randy Johnson tomorrow or in this series.
Well, but you know, Randy's had some tough luck against you know, 4-time Cy Young Award winner, but he's had some tough luck against the Cardinals in the past.
2-2 is pop foul.
Jimenez no-hitter. And then the next meeting, those 2 matched up again, and I think Randy had only allowed 5 hits in the no-hitter by Jimenez. And then he lost a game where I think he allowed 2 hits to Jimenez this next outing.
2-2 pitch. Going out is Aaron Miles. Shallow left. 2 away. Two outs, and Connor Jackson will be the hitter. Jackson tonight is 0 for 3. Cardinals in the ball game tomorrow have Todd Wellemeyer going. Coming off a good start against the Mets. Randy Johnson, the scheduled starter for Arizona. Brad Thompson and Livan Hernandez on Wednesday, 4th of July. And the final game of this series, Wainwright against Doug Davis. Wainwright 6 and 7.
And a further reminder, Wednesday and Thursday, 6:15 start times. And 5:30 with our pregame show.
Foul ball, 1 and 2. So the Diamondbacks down to their final strike. Cardinals hang on to win tonight. They would be 10-18 in the opening game of series.
That's what I said. For whatever reason, the first game of the series, they've struggled with it.
And a foul tip.
They won the first game in Cincinnati series, and if they do it here, they kind of get on that trend, and they've won 5 of the last 8 home series. What they need to do, just keep on winning, get to 500, and just see where it takes them.
2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did not go.
Tim Garcia wishes he was the first base umpire. He'd be on his way out the door.
Three-two pitch, a swing and a miss, and the Cardinals take game 1. Flores ends it with a strikeout. Our final tonight, 11-3. Scott Rowland with 4 RBIs. Bases loaded triple. Part of that big 8th inning, and the Cardinals win it 11-3. Russ Springer picks up the win. He's now 4-1 on the season. Webb is 8-6. He takes a loss. And the Cardinals win it by the score of 11-3. Good to see 13 hits and also good pitching. Our Budweiser player of the game is tonight's starter, and that's Braden Looper.
Well, Braden Looper came off the disabled list, and through the first 5 innings, he was very, very efficient. He was getting his outs in quick fashion, pitching to contact. And then just in the 6th inning, ran into a little bit of a trouble. But there was a lot more positives. And because of that starting pitching, because of Looper, the way he pitched, you know, I think he set the tone for it. Took the offense a little while to get going, but it did get going.
Adam Kennedy on base 3 times. He'll be our post-game guest with Jim Hayes. The Cardinals picked up 3 runs in the 7th, and then, Pat, they picked up 5 in the 8th, and that's the difference in this game as they take game 1. We send it over to you.
All right, Dan, we'll see you and Al back in the booth in just a moment on Budweiser Cardinals Live. As mentioned, an interview with Adam Kennedy, our player of the game. Derek Gould of the Post-Dispatch will join me with analysis. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about Anthony Reyes being sent down as well. And you're going to get Tony La Russa's comments on the 11-3 win. That and much more coming up on Budweiser Cardinals Live, the post-game edition. Keep it here on FSN Midwest.